I'm Patrick and you know what you are watching. TAZ, the Artisan Zone channel. Today we're going to put our hands on the topic body's terminology / measurements. I'm going to guide you on how to take measurements from the person and also from the stand. Then you will be well prepared for translating all this into patterns. Bear in mind that this episode is about female body measurements only, and if you want to know how to measure male body, stay tuned. I'm going to upload a separate tutorial. As for now, let's begin with bodies only measurements. Before we start, we have to mark the waist position by placing the thin tape on the exact waist. Let's start.
Front. Center front length. Measure from neck base down center front to waistline tape. Full front length. Measure from high shoulder point at neck straight down through the bust to waistline. Side seam length. Measure from half an inch below arm plate to waistline on the tape. Front shoulder slope. Measure from further shoulder point diagonally over bust to center front waist point. Apex point position. Measure from high shoulder point to apex point. Width between apex. Measure distance between points. Across shoulders width. Measure across front from arm plate reach at the shoulder to opposite side. Across front chest width, measure 3 inches down from neck seam across the front from the groove between chest and arm to the opposite side. Front body width, measure half an inch below arm plate base from side seam to side seam. Front body width across bust, measure 2 inches below arm plate base from side seam to side seam across the fullest part of bust. Front under bust, measure from side seam to side seam just under the bust, front body's rib cage measurements. Front waist measurements, measure across waist on tape from side seam to side seam. Neck measurements, measure around the neck base from HSP on one side to the other side. Shoulder length, measure from HS and P to the fullest shoulder point reach. Armhole depth, measure from reach at shoulder over arm plate to half an inch below arm plate. When measured on the model, take measurements over arm muscle. Arm plate measurements, measure around arm plate from shoulder reach via half an inch below armpit to the shoulder reach. Sleeve head width, measure from back arm plate reach through arm muscle to front arm plate reach.